Hey guys, so we're gonna jump into this most recent episode of the Braxtons. Now, this one, what I've heard people say is that this episode was a little light. And in all actuality, it was not light at all. In fact, to me, this was one of the worst episodes. And I'm going to get into those specifics. And the reason why I have Tracy's face here on the screen, because and thus far, this entire new season is solely about Tracy, but not in a positive light. So, hey, I have Tracy on the screen because, in all actuality, this is all about her and her family because we're not learning much about the other sisters. We're just learning about Tracy, her son, her husband, nothing about them. So, y'all, let's jump into this episode and why it was very difficult to watch. And does this show, are they going to be canceled? Because they're not really connecting with the viewers at this point. And as always, guys, thank you so much for your support. But I do need you to like the video, share the video, and I want to know what y'all think in the comments. I do read the comments, so let me know. Let's have a conversation in the comments.
Please, I don't have any time for any gossip now. Eh? Yes.
And guys, I don't do recap videos. I'm not going to, sit here and say everything that happened because if you watched it, you know everything that happened. What I do is talk about the specifics, the highlights, some of the most important and or captivating moments. And I could care less about Miss Evelyn, Miss E, looking for a man. I mean, she's irritating at this point. For one, she's in her, I believe, her mid 70s, and she acts as if she's in her 30s, 40s, or maybe even 20s with an unbelievable list that doesn't make any sense. And honestly, lady, at your age, you should be glad to even get anybody. So I'm not even getting into all of the foolishness. This woman is looking for a date and her son is in crisis. So I could care less about that. But what I want to jump into right away is Kevin Jr. being in crisis to the point that production had to call Towanda, which I'm starting to wonder, why do they just call Towanda? What about Trina? What about Tony? What about Tamar? What about the grandmother? Now, if these people are saying that they're there for him, why does production need to go get his medicine? Why is Towanda the only contact, y'all? Something ain't math in here. And I've said this in previous videos. I feel like they using their own, relative, their own nephew, their own grandson. And we see this all the time. This is not like it doesn't happen when, relatives and people that supposedly supposed to love you take advantage and take you for granted, because this whole episode just summed up everything that everybody had been saying anyway.
Okay. Hey, where is he?
He's inside. Looks so he came out of it.
Okay.
But he definitely had a seizure. And he's a little all over the place.
Of course.
We said the police to go get his medicine. But you should go check on him.
I am.
He's supposed to catch his flight tonight. I don't know
if he's gonna be able to do that.
I don't know.
Hey, Mama.
Hey.
Well, I got you on speaker. I'm with Scratchy. He had a seizure.
Lord have mercy. Hey, baby.
Hey, my mom.
Are you
How you
swollen right
feeling
here?
now?
Yeah, up there, but on my arm.
Can we get some ice?
Say it again, my mom.
Hey, how you feeling now?
I'm okay. I think I was just stressed.
We're gonna have to lighten your load.
So, guys, listen, this was a bad episode because You guys have to understand, Kevin Jr. is in Atlanta to film for the show. So upon filming for the show, he was found by production unconscious, which means this family that claims that they are so concerned about him is nowhere to be found. And then you will later learn that he's staying in a hotel. And we'll get to that. But these are the very people that say that they're so concerned about him, but yet they're nowhere around in production. A whole stranger found him unconscious. Then his grandmother says that we have to lighten your load, as if she didn't already know what he was going through. But we know she knows what he was going through, because out of her very mouth, she made some statements that let us know that she knew exactly the state of mind that her grandson was in, but yet and still, nobody cared enough to know his whereabouts, to the point that he was found by a total stranger after coming to Atlanta to film for a show that they invited him on to not only exploit him, to exploit his dad, him and his dad relationship, and to talk trash really about his mama, because they talked about his dad, Tracy's husband, doing a funeral where they put pictures of Tracy on this show, and Tracy's husband said Tracy wouldn't have never allowed them to put those videos out. So, Evelyn, a lot of this stuff that we're seeing with your family, the ladies, your daughters, it is coming from you.
Yes.
That was nice.
Yes.
That was nice. Kevin came in town.
Okay.
Kevin seemed to be a little out of it.
Hello, Kevin.
He's meeting with Spirit for therapy before he goes back to Maryland. I am a little concerned about Kevin. He seems to be a little lost. He's going through a divorce and what have you, and his mom is not here. I think he's going to have extensive counseling.
So Miss E, grandma, whatever he calls her, mama, whatever, she was well aware of the type of stress that her grandson was under, because she said out of her own mouth that he needed to have extensive therapy. So listen, I don't have any grandkids, but I could only imagine that the love that I would have for my grandkids is probably going to be 2 times, because it's going to be my kids and now it's my grandkids. So it's like 2 times, the love. I don't understand how she leaves her grandson unattended. Why come he couldn't stay with her? Why come he couldn't stay with Tamar? Why come he not staying with Towanda? Why come he not staying with Trina? This doesn't make any sense. Or Tony. None of this is adding up. But to say that he's going to need extensive therapy but yet not do anything is really showing me exactly who these people are. And listen, people have been calling it since the second, I believe, episode. The way that they are treating him is just not right. And it doesn't get any better. It doesn't get any better.
Being by myself in the hotel.
You're afraid to be by yourself in the hotel?
I just check on me. I just check on me while I'm in there. It's called.
Of course I am. Are you kidding me? You got 100 people that's going. You ain't gonna get no sleep, because everybody's gonna be calling you every 5 minutes.
So, Guy, how are you?
Okay.
All righty then. Come on in the room. Come on.
Okay.
My boy's handsome face. How you coming along, baby? What's up?
You seem so sullen. What's going on? Little Kevin sent me a text to say that there were some developments on his divorce. Divorce is hard, and no one wins. And I know that from experience. Because I've been through jail. But mommy and I are trying to stay calm because little Kevin's health is fragile as it is. And we're here to build him up, and that's what he needs right now.
Yesterday was kind of scary. So that was a lot. I was the guy with the phone, Liv. She just completed the divorce and took full custody of baby Kevin.
You can appeal.
Okay, guys, so let me further break this down. One of the things that another thing that stood out to me is Kevin Jr. expressed. Now, it is very difficult for males, men, young men, even boys to talk about their actual feelings. It's very difficult. But he said that he didn't want to be by himself in a hotel. He said that he felt afraid. And Towanda, with her bald-headed self, and I gotta say it because I'm so irritated, instead of her acknowledging that he was reaching out to her, she downplayed what he said and said, what did she say? She asked him, "Are you afraid to be by yourself?" I'm just like, did she just gaslight? Like, girl, are you kidding right now? Like, she does not really and genuinely want to really help him. If somebody tell you that they are afraid to be by themselves in a hotel and you say, you're afraid, you're afraid to be alone, that was just horrible. It was horrible to like the 100th degree. Then she went on to say, well, it's going to be like 100 people checking on you. You ain't going to be able to sleep. What do you mean? Calling them on the phone? If you say you love Tracy as much as you say you do, why wouldn't you have your own nephew stay in your home? So then, guys, we have Miss E, the grandmother, and then Trina that comes to that same hotel room to have another conversation with him. During that conversation, Trina states that he sent her a text message letting her know what had happened in court. If you guys, if you're following the show, you understand he's going through a divorce. So he texted her this information. I felt like it could have just stayed in the text, but she set up a meeting so that he could meet with Miss E and her so that it can be videotaped. And this is where, guys, I was like, oh my goodness. I said, oh my goodness, this is just terrible. Towanda called his ex-wife to see if the court hearing could be canceled, at which she told him yes. But apparently she didn't cancel, which means she moved forward with the court hearing, which ended up in, him getting a default judgment is what they call it. He lost. So what that meant is that she took full custody of the child. Okay. She took full custody. So basically she won. And he felt very, very bad about that. And the only thing that they can offer him in that moment is to say, Kevin, you can appeal it. And I just sat there like, what? So guys, what I need you to understand is, although he's an adult, to them, it's like he's still a kid. I feel like they're taking advantage of him. I feel like they're taking advantage of him because obviously they want to use Tracy's likeness, and because he has everything, she left everything to him, they have to pretend like they care. And I don't believe that they care at all, because he would have been at his hearing had he would have remained in Maryland. He is in Georgia filming for this show. And then he expressed how he felt, like he had been tricked. He didn't feel like, his ex-wife did the right thing because he felt like he communicated to her that he couldn't fly. You know, he was found unconscious. He had a seizure. And it was just one thing after the other. And guys, I just feel like the Braxtons is not coming back. I do not feel that they connected with the viewers. I feel like they have a bunch of people that's outraged that just don't like the show and they're not supporting the show. And guys, I need to know what you guys think in the comments. Are you up for, continuing to watch this show? What are your thoughts? For me, I'm just like, I don't know if I'm going to be talking about this show anymore because it's just a little bit too deep for me. I was really hoping for something else. And this was just the ultimate letdown for me. So y'all got to let me know what y'all think.